What's the wind like out there?
It's really windy today.
We're back at the same place we hunted yesterday morning. The wind has picked up even more. It's gusting like 40 miles an hour. I think the thing that we got going for us back here is that it's a pretty low-lying area. That turkey was roosted kind of down in a bowl, or right on the edge of it at least. So hopefully they're down in there. I mean, it was windy basically from yesterday morning until until now. So they probably flew up on a place where they're kind of blocked from the wind, and this place is probably about as blocked from the wind as we're gonna find. So couldn't hear any gobbles last night, so we're gonna go with what we know, and we know that birds have roosted in that same tree 2 times since we've been here. So we're gonna take a stab at it again today. We're gonna adjust our setup a little bit once we get back in there, but head in and hopefully get set up underneath of them again. Slipped back in here this morning, set up on that same tree that bird was roosted in yesterday morning, and apparently they're not in here today. I don't know if they've switched roost locations because of the wind, but not here today. We got a couple other guys out there with some decoys. Saw those and thought maybe they were the turkeys, but quickly realized they were just decoys. So we're gonna get out of here, go check a couple of our other spots. Hopefully there's some birds moving around. It's gonna be tough to hear anything today, so we're either gonna have to spot something or essentially still hunt into something that's close enough to hear it gobble, which is probably going to be about 100 yards.
Well, I just met up with Derek and Greg at Derek's house.
We're just trying to get a game plan for a midday hunt and potentially a roost hunt tonight. Just got on the computer and we're looking at the radar. Looks like a small band of thunderstorms, some moderate to heavy rains headed our direction. So typically, when a front passes through, right after that front goes through, it kind of calms everything down.
And plus, we know from past experience with turkeys, when the rain front comes through like that, gets them a little wet, first thing they want to do when that sun comes back out is get out in the field and start strutting around. And, and that's a good time to get out here, see where these birds are at, and possibly make a move on one. So,
oh, this is going to be perfect. Probably a 1/4 inch shower here, so. But this is perfect. The wind is laid down. We need to go, Josh. We need to go ASAP.
Of course, little did I know we set up on Tom's,
Jake's.
Jake's.
So this is the weather we've been looking for since Tuesday. Just a little break in the wind, the sun's shining, those birds should be out in the fields. We should be able to spot them and make a move, especially, this is typically what we do, midday anyways, just put a lot of miles on the truck finding birds.
This is what Derek likes to do right before he goes deer hunting, get some gas.
I never do.
Zach loves filling up gas before he goes deer hunting.
Yeah. Well.
To make fun of the scent control freaks.
Oh, he does. Well, see, I'm still in that scent control freak mindset, I guess. My dad instilled that in me a long time ago. He didn't even want to talk about a gas station when he's going deer hunting.
Water for Greg and I, and here's your bug juice.
Nice. Yummy tummies.
There she goes. Just got on the road.
There's our first turkey since we left the house. I can't believe those birds are way up here.
Well, they're right here. So what I think they're doing is they're going up there and they're going to walk right down that drainage or go back over. They're going back that way.
So what we're doing is we spotted those birds up in this thicket way, probably like half a mile away from us where we're at right now. Josh, like he said earlier, he hunted these birds last night and this morning, so he's got a good idea of what they're doing, where they want to be, and where they've roosted. So they were working this way, so we're just going to get in there, get to where, as close as we can get to where they've been roosted. That's our plan. That's why we're picking this spot, so we're just cutting them off. That's what happens when you get in a hurry.
I don't know. Eric gets in a hurry, and this is what I have to deal with all the time.
It's not usually how it goes. That looks ridiculous.
Fine. We'll do your guys' way.
At least it'll be a funny memory.
Hey, I was just thinking it might help.
Thinking out of the box, but that's a really funny looking box.
Well, we've been set up for about an hour now. So basically, we're just back where we saw him roost last night. Derek likes to ruin my hunts, and he forgot the tail fan for the... So we have a tailless turkey out here, but honestly, it probably doesn't make a difference.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out, but I like the setup. There's actually 3 toms, so we're just hoping that we're basically in their path from where they're at to where they're going to roost, because they really haven't been very vocal. But that can change pretty fast, even though they weren't yesterday. That could change this afternoon. The weather's really got a lot better. Sun's out, the wind's died down. So Zach and Aaron are having the same luck as far as the weather, because we're definitely enjoying it here. It's nice hunting without it being super windy, so hopefully they're going to have some luck tonight too. Well, we had this hen come out, and Derek just spotted some strutters over there. I'm sure that's the group that we saw on the north side of the property. So since I've kind of called to them the last 2 days or 2 sets without much luck, I'm trying not to call very much. Kind of try to let the decoy do the work, since I don't think they've seen a decoy. They haven't seen our set the last 2 times we found it since we were inside the trees. So I'm gonna just stay patient here and see what happens.
Stirred his buddy up, but he won't come over here. Like his head's down, like he's sleeping.
Well, these birds are still right here. They aren't but 80 yards away. And we've literally been here, what, for at least an hour, hour and a half. The hens are just, they got their heads tucked in the wings. I mean, it looks like they're just hanging out in the shade. It's been a pretty weird afternoon, to be honest. I mean, on one hand, we've seen a lot of birds so far today, but the toms definitely aren't interested right now, especially with the decoys. I mean, they're 80 yards and they're over there sleeping. If we can get them hens over here, it's going to get them toms a little more interested in coming into this strutter, having them hens here in this set. So
Some black squirrels getting. Can't believe he got some. The turkey even acknowledged that he's there.
They're just tearing off through there. We jumped a hog back on the hill back there, and then We thought we heard one squealing over here. We worked up and they popped out of the grass, and we've just been following the deer trail right towards them. Probably got, I don't know how close you have to be with a shotgun, like, especially a 20 gauge, but I think if
20 yards or so, 25 yards. Could have killed one of the smaller ones at 30 maybe.
Probably. Did you see those little ones that are like seriously like that big? Did you see those?
Oh yeah.
Those little white ones? It's crazy. Just not used to hogs when you're turkey hunting, but I'm sure they're not good for the deer, and the turkey and everybody who we've talked to says if you see a hog, shoot them.
Almost did. We're headed that direction. We might get another chance.
Yeah. I'm looking to shoot a hog. My heart was racing.
Well, they're definitely getting up and moving a little bit.
Yeah, and their heads are changing colors too.
Why don't you try calling to them, see if you can't get those hens to come over here.
Bird.
Oh my goodness.
Look at those spurs.
What a beautiful bird. Yep, I'm definitely a little low on that shot.
Oh yeah. But you got it done.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What a crazy hunt.
If those things aren't an inch and a half, they are close.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'll be dang. What an awesome bird.
Limb hanger for sure.
Yep. Awesome.
Limb hanger, long bird, long beard, all the above. Well, what do you think?
Oh, that was an interesting day.
We probably wouldn't have sat here if you hadn't hunted these birds this morning and know their pattern, know what they were going to do.
Yeah. And the second thing was had a thunderstorm come in.
Yep.
And we talked about that earlier about how we looked at the weather, saw that it was going to be a pretty spotty. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty spotty front coming through. We knew it was going to clear up. We got in the truck, came out to the spot I last saw them. Sure enough, they were there, and set up a game plan and set up for them coming back to roost tonight. So
perfect.
Yep, beautiful bird, and just what a great hunt we had here tonight. So,
I'm glad it worked, even though I forgot that tail fan for the decoy. But.
Yeah. Yep. You proved me wrong on that one. I didn't believe you and Greg telling me that this was going to work, but I went along with it anyway. Yep. So, yep. It was a great hunt, man. It was kind of fun to adapt and overcome some different challenges we've had this week of hunting these turkeys with this weather. So, hopefully Zach and Aaron have some luck tonight too.
Yeah.
So, hopefully either they can get on some birds tonight or get one roosted for in the morning. So,
and we might have learned something off these birds coming in here in the shade and out of the wind.
Where we might is 82 degrees. Should we set up in that shade right there?
Well, absolutely. I mean, on hindsight, that's probably a better choice.
That is something
strange
going on there,
birds, but
yeah,
it worked.
awesome.
We got in
bird.
his bubble.
Yeah, we got in his bubble anyways.
Yep. It's always nice carrying a bird out, but stuff gets heavy.
You gotta be creative. Get in there.
Josh is really proud of this bird. Never seen him take care of a bird so well. But it does get dusty back there.
See a turkey?
Yeah.
All right.
I got you.
Yeah. Daddy shot a turkey. There he is. Holy smokes. Jeez.
An inch and a half.
Inch good solid inch and a half. Got him?
Got him.
Oh man, 47, pretty close, right at 47.
47 and a quarter. What was yours?
47.
I think Yvonne was just a touch bigger.
Of course it is.
Well, I think this is going to do it for today. We're headed back to town with Josh's turkey in the back. I don't know, the weather's going to get pretty crappy tonight. It's supposed to get down to like 28 degrees. Well, Aaron and Zach are still down in Oklahoma trying to get their public land bird, but this weather hasn't been on their side. They've been running into a couple hunters, but hopefully they either got one this evening, we haven't heard from them yet, or hopefully they find a good roost tree for tomorrow morning. So, like I said, we haven't heard from them, so hopefully we have some good news here in just a little bit. He's got to be on that edge.
Maybe in the damn tree. Maybe going to a gobbler in the roost.
That'd be okay.
We ended up getting about 100 yards from the turkey, and he was gobbling good to that ninja crystal. He wasn't gobbling anything else. He never did gobble anything else. But that crystal can get pretty sharp. That must have just been enough to get through the wind. And he was gobbling to it. He pretty much responded all the way up till the end there. And we think that he probably actually flew up. The reason being is they've been flying up right about the time he stopped gobbling. So, I mean, we still have probably 15-20 minutes of legal light left, but you know, at this point though, it's just you start running that risk of hunting a bird that is on the verge of legal or not, and you know, don't want to be looking at the seconds before you take a shot. And he's probably flown up anyway, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna jet back out there to the road, try to pinpoint exactly which tree he's in, and then we'll talk about our plan for the morning from there.
Hey everyone, we just wanted to shoot a little wrap-up interview from today's hunt. I don't even know which day of the turkey tour it is. We are into the, looks like the mid-20s anyway. But we did get a bird roosted tonight, and we're optimistic for the morning. Wanted to take a minute to address some of the comments and questions we've been getting since the start of the Oklahoma trip, and kind of talk about what our plans are from this point forward. We got a question from Jared Jones, asked if we're coming to Missouri next week. Yes, I'll be in Missouri. I don't know who else will be with me. Jake may come down. We will also be in Iowa next week. Zach is potentially going to Ohio at some point.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be in Ohio at least at some point during the first week of Ohio's opener.
Okay, so we have lots more coming down the pipe here on the turkey tour.
Basically, from here on out, we'll probably be hunting until somebody will be hunting at least until Wisconsin closes. Every day, I would say. Just about. I mean, maybe not every single day, but probably.
Yeah,
probably
we're going to be
out.
in the woods a ton from now until the end of May, pretty much. Still haven't decided yet if we're going to go to western Nebraska to hunt Merriam's or not, but we may do that. But so far, Oklahoma, as we've had some opportunities, but we have not been able to close the deal and haven't had ideal conditions by any means.
No.
And we've got cold weather coming in the morning. It's supposed to be down in the 30s by the morning. It's 70 right now, and north winds around 20 miles an hour. So thankfully we got a turkey roost. We know where he is. So that's just part of the deal, though. We'll see what we can do with that bird in the morning. We had another question that asked about Greg's bow kill in Nebraska. They asked if that was on public or private ground. That's on private ground. That's on a farm that Greg has hunted since he was a little kid. But we're going to have public and private land hunts on the turkey tour. Most of what we do is public land. But like this week, for instance, our buddies Derek, Josh, and Matt, they're just right up the road and over in Kansas, 30 minutes away, and Greg's been over there filming them. And we were hoping to go over there and film them and run around with those guys for a few days, but these Oklahoma Rios been very, very tough on us. So we got to stay on them one more day at least. One more question we had was what kind of camouflage Jake and I were wearing on the Mississippi hunts. I've got it on right now. I don't really even know what the pattern is. It's from Legendary Whitetails. I guess we'll just call it flannelflage because it's one of their buck camp flannel shirts. Mm-hmm. And it's worked great so far. Wearing it today, it was 85, 90 degrees. You just roll the sleeves up like that, and been wearing it when it was clear down to 25, 30 degrees, and seems to blend in pretty well. So yeah, well, we're gonna head to bed, eat some dinner. That's gonna do it for this video. Thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate all the feedback that we've been getting. It is quite overwhelming, and we will have more turkey hunting videos coming down the pipe. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that right now and give this video a like.
But we're headed to bed, and we're tired, and you know, we don't have any coffee for the morning, so
it's gonna be rough on me especially.
Hopefully we get a turkey so we can just like woo
rolling.
Yeah.
Well, this might not be the end of the video actually, or maybe I should just, maybe it'll be the start of the next video. I don't, who cares. We have a problem. I just jumped in the Hummer quick to turn the ignition and roll up my driver's window over here because we keep all the camera gear and stuff stored inside the Hummer at night, and I can't turn the ignition. And it's not the typical problem that you get when your steering wheel gets stuck or anything. It's something else.
It is in park, in fact.
Yep, it's in park. I don't know what's going on. So we're at the campsite right now. I don't know. Greg's gonna come out from Derek's. He's been over there editing, and they've got some tools and stuff. We're gonna try to band together and fix this somehow tonight. But if we don't, I might have to get my car towed tomorrow into town to try to get this thing fixed. It's Saturday tomorrow too, so if the Hummer's gonna need a shop or something like that, we might be in Oklahoma a few more days. At least I might be.
We'll figure it out, buddy.
Yep. Ain't got no other choice.
We'll either figure it out or we won't. Somebody else will. Maybe we'll get that turkey tomorrow. Maybe we won't.